Okay, this is video number 10. We're trying to find that piece under here, under the panel, remember? Body control module, or the BTD. Okay, so what we did, okay, we pulled this panel off. Okay, this is a kick panel. That's 4 screws. We just use this little nut roller with 9/32. It's a little ratchet nut roller, but anyway, 9/32. And then you have this panel under here. After this is pulled, you have this metal panel. We went ahead and pulled that too. That was 3/8. It was just 4 bolts, 3/8. Okay. The dash just snaps in. Okay. We'll snap the dash. Okay. And we pulled the airbag wire. We undid that. This is the cargo light. I don't want to break the tab. Everything is real brittle. You got to be very careful. And I still hadn't got that off. I don't want to force it, so I've been playing with it. But this is going to come off. Okay, goes all the way to here. Okay, over here. Okay, this is your serial lotter charging station here, where you charge your serial lotters. Okay, that just snaps off. You gotta be very careful not to break the tab. And these are just the little connectors that go to the back of this, which is your cigarette lighters. Okay. And we took the ashtray out. Now the ashtray just clips in. And we're using the ashtray, we got it right here. We're using the ashtray to put our screws in. Okay. Now when we turn on the key, it's a clicking noise. There's a noise under here, and it sounds like it's coming from the back of the radio, around in this area. Now I read somewhere, online somewhere, that is the body control module. Okay. They call it the BTD, which is the same thing. It's the lock mechanism that locks out the ignition, cuts off the fuel. See what happens, the ignition right here reads the key. Okay. And it goes to the body control module, or the BTD. It goes to the, whichever one you want to call it. It goes to that, and then that communicates with the computer that's under the hood. Okay. The powertrain control module under the hood, PTM. And what's happening is it's not like I showed you in the other video with the scan tool. It's not communicating. Okay, there is a way. Once I can ever find this thing, I still haven't got to it. It's under here somewhere. I hadn't got to it. I might continue to tear everything out of here. Okay, I'm going to remove my little temporary dash. I'm going to pull that out of here. Okay, I'm going to just take as much stuff as I can out of here. Now, as you can see, the airbag I did not show, still hadn't come out. So while I'm in here, I'm going to pull the airbag out and put the new one in. I'm not going to wait on him. Okay, I hate waiting on people. And I'm going to change that airbag. Now this airbag just snaps in. You just plug in your wire, okay, and it just snaps in. Now they say if the horn still works, then it's not the clock spring. That's the clock spring right here, okay. And the horn works. You can hear. Okay, the horn works. So it's not the not the horn. This wire came loose. This wire just has to be soldered back here. And once the wire is soldered here, when you press this in, you can blow the horn. There's a little springs under here, and it allows the horn to blow. And all I do is put this plug, connect this yellow plug, and snap this in. Now, I pulled the 10 amp airbag fuse because I don't want to stick this together and the airbag blows up in my face. Okay. There's some other parts for the airbag that has to be changed. The guy was telling me where the wreck happened in the front. There's a couple other things that have to be changed. He told me what he was going to do was pull the fuse and change the airbags, and then change the other part, the sensors that were tripped. Because if you stick the fuse back in, what he's saying is the airbags could blow again. So I'm gonna just put the airbags in and bring them to this guy, leave the fuse out, bring them to this guy and get him to do whatever he does to change the sensors, and then let him deal with putting the fuse back in. Of course, I'll pay him. Of course, I gotta pay him. So anyway, so it might be a little cheaper, but I'll change the airbags myself. It's just bolts in there, but you can't get to the bolts until you pull half the dash out of here. Okay, that's what he had told me. But being I'm going in here anyway. Okay, so that's where we at. And we still hadn't got, like I said, we still hadn't found the little module we're looking for under here. It's under there somewhere, but we hadn't found it yet. Okay, we're still removing parts, like I said. We're gonna pull the rest of this dash off of here. Once I undo this connector, it's a cargo light. Evidently, there's a little trick to getting that up. Now the airbag thing was right here. That's laying in the floor here somewhere. It's just a little piece that plugs this thing. There it is. It's just a little key thing for the okay, turn your airbags off, and all it does is just, where we at? It just unplugs. That was pretty simple. Okay, so that's where we at. I'm gonna finish figuring out this cargo light little connection right here. Undo that. Then the dash is gonna come out. Then I'm gonna take my little dash piece that I put in there. I'm gonna pull this out of here, and then just keep tearing into it till I get to the airbags, and get to the passenger airbag, so I can pull it and back this thing out. All right. That way I'm gonna just go ahead and change, like I said before. We'll change that airbag. So that's where we at. We're tearing into it, and I still hadn't got the other truck I was supposed to buy. You know how people don't follow through. I keep asking the guy, asking about the truck, and he said we're gonna go look at it, and it never happens. And so that's where we at. If I can't get that, I'll just buy the fender. I'll buy a new fender, a new hood, and a new bumper. And don't rely on people. Biggest mistake a person can make is relying on somebody else. Okay. So that's where we at. Now maybe they'll come out and they'll prove me wrong, and then I can rely on them. But it's not happening. And I've been waiting. And like I said, I've been working on that Ford. I pulled the whole front end off the Ford and changed all the parts on the front of the Ford. I had to get in there with a cutting torch and a welding machine to redo the front end. And like I said, I have a video on that. And I had to cut the old bumper off. Meanwhile, I was doing all that, still waiting on the guys to come through with the airbag guy and the guy with the truck. And nothing's coming into place. So anyway, that's where we're at. So we're starting to tear into this thing. So here we are, tearing into it. See what we can find. Okay, I'm under the dash. I haven't found the part I'm looking for, the body control manual, yet. But you see in my mirror, there's you can probably see it there. There's a little box with cooling fans on it. Okay. That connects to the body control module. Okay. I know that connects to it because I was looking at some online for sale. And it's about a foot long cord that connects to your body control module from this cooling thing here, whatever the rectifier or whatever the heck that is. So I've been trying to stick my hand on it and find it, but I'm gonna have to tear some more dash out to be able to get to it. But it's gotta be under there somewhere. Okay, something I want to add. When I was talking about pulling this panel off, I noticed my other video. Okay, I failed to say that when you pull this panel off right here, remember the 4 screws, 9/32 screws? Okay, when you pull that off, everything snapped with these little tabs. See the tabs? Okay, see where the tabs are? And you got to take a screwdriver or something, something with a wide blade, and slowly work the panel off. You see, right here, they're attached. Okay, now my hood release is still connected to the panel. See right here, it's still connected. I didn't take it off. I probably should to get it out of my way. I figured I could get to this thing without taking that off. But anyway, so I just want to add those 2 things. But I'm gonna trace that piece out, and it looks like it's about a foot long little connection wires that go to the body control module. So it's in there deep somewhere. I might have to pull a radio. I don't know. On all this air controls. I don't know. But I'm trying to get to it. Like I said, I can hear it. I can hear it making noise. It's hard to describe. It's like a little clicking noise. It's like a, something like it's like a clicking noise. It's hard to imitate it, but and they say that means it's not working. If you hear that noise, it's not working correctly. Now, what I was going to say was, once I get in there and get to it, okay, there's a way to bypass it. Okay, there's a way to ground it out and make your computer under the hood think that everything's good. There's a way to do that. Now, what I'm understanding, if you short this thing out or make it do whatever you want it to do, then you unplug it. Okay. Your truck will start and it'll run. Everything will be great. Okay. Until you disconnect the battery. You can shut the key off, shut the truck off, and it'll work until you disconnect the battery. Then once you connect the battery back up, then you got to pull the dash all back apart, get back in there, unless you maybe make a pigtail or something that you could run down. And you have to plug it back in, short it back out, unplug it, and it'll work again until you disconnect the battery, or the battery goes dead or whatever. So this is what I'm seeing online. I'm gonna find out. Okay, if I can bypass it, I'm still gonna change it. But if I can bypass it like they're saying, and get the truck to start and run, I'll be one happy camper. Then I'll know what my problem is, and then I'll definitely know it's the body control module. Okay, or the BTD, or the BTD pass lock box or whatever you want to call it. Now some saying it's the size of a pack of playing cards. The box is the size of a pack of playing cards. Because I was looking for something. I was looking for something a lot bigger. So it's under there somewhere. So still got to take all this stuff out. And once I get all this out, we'll get a little further into it, and I'll show you what we found. Okay, here we are. We pulled my dash cover off of the dash. You see the dash is in pieces. I'll try to glue that the best I can when I go back on my dash cover. Okay, I pull the radio just to see if there's any screws in that thing to get to this airbag. Okay, and there's this little compartment right here. Okay, that goes right here, and I slid that out. Okay, this is where body control module is. This plugs into it. Okay. This is for a 98 anti-theft security system, alarm module, location for a 1998 Chevy C1500. See right here, what I'm reading. Truck, two-wheel drive. Well, the C tells you it's a two-wheel drive. V8, 5.7 liter. Okay. So it's actually right here. Now you can hear this thing making noise. I'll turn the key on. Now I still hadn't got to it. This has to be pulled off. Where that? This looks like this has to come off. Okay, here's some tabs these tabs hold it up there. Okay. As you can see, it's here in this. See the tabs? It's in this little piece right here. And they've got the wire plugged into the back of it. Okay, that's these tabs right here. And these tabs for the back in there, if you can see. Okay, now I can touch it. I can feel it under here. Okay. But this has to come off to get to it. Alright, so that's where we're at. Now I can turn on the key and you can hear it. Watch. Hold the door so you don't hear the buzzer. I'll turn on the key. Okay, do you hear it? Tick, tick, tick. Making a ticking noise, clicking noise. Okay. It's talking to us. Okay, they could have made this a lot easier to get to, huh? Yeah, that's really making noise. Okay. So we're in the middle of tearing the rest of this dash out of here. Like I said, we got to get to this airbag. Oh, couldn't make a noise. Yeah, you can hear it. So we want to get to that body control module. Okay. Oh, it's called the VTD. Okay. So we just got to figure out how to pull the rest of this off without tearing it up. Everything's real brittle, so I got to be very careful. This little truck. That's where we are. Tearing the dash apart. Okay, we're pulling some more stuff out of here. Alright, we took this piece off. Of course, the radio like we had out before. And I was saying earlier that this piece needed to be, this piece right here needs to come off. That's all part of the dash. You'd have to pull the whole dash off. Alright, and some people are saying, well, just change the dash. It's all tore up. Well, it's a lot more work than what I'm doing here. Okay. Plus, you're lucky if you can find a dash for $800-900. And I have the dash cover, which I took off. I'm just going to glue these pieces back so that I can put my instrument panel back. I'm going to glue these and I'm going to put my dash cover on and it's going to look good. Okay, I just moved everything back out of the way. See this? It's will glue right in there. You can see. But anyway, show where we at. What we did, like I said before, this is all part of the dash. So that piece can't come out. Alright, but if you remember, there was a black piece that was right there, this right here. Okay, this piece right here. Okay, and see these little tabs right here? These little tabs? And you take a little tool like this, or I used to actually use a screwdriver. I got a lot of these little tools like this. But actually use just a small little straight shot screwdriver. And all I did was, back here it is right here. All I did was pop the little tab out. You can see it's popped out. There's 4 of them. Okay. In fact, this one actually broke. Okay, I popped those out and then this black piece came out. Alright, now that allowed me to get under there. Now remember before I said I pulled this and it's right in my darn way. These little tabs right here, see right here? The little black pieces were sticking out those tabs. Okay, that is the part we're looking for. Okay. It's the V as in Victor, T as in Tom, D as in damn. Okay. They don't make this easy to get to, I promise you. So anyway, we found the little part we're looking for. So I can get under here. Like I say, you saw the tabs were loose. Here it is right here. Okay. There's it. In fact, there's the little tabs. See the little tab? That's the little tab that was sticking to the front. Okay, it's totally loose. Okay. But it won't come out because of the wiring harness. There's a wiring harness on the back side of it, which I can't get to. Okay. So I'm still working on that, trying to get that out of there. So that's how you got to do it. Because like I said, this part I think it had to go, but it's all part of the dash. So that's got to stay. So now some people were saying, and as you can see, I pulled the instrument panel. Okay. Oh, the clicking noise you just heard, I had the flashers on. Okay, that I pushed the flasher button down, and the flashers was on. The battery's disconnected right now. I disconnected the battery while I'm in here doing all this. Okay, someone's saying you could come through right here. See, this is the airbag. Okay, this is the airbag switch to turn your airbag, your passenger airbag off, and this is the cargo light. Okay. Someone's saying you move these wires off the way, and you can pull that little module out of there. Okay. It doesn't look like it's big enough. I guess it could, if it, but that's what I'm going to try to do. It's hard to I can't get my hand in there. It's hard to manipulate it. All right, see right here. I tried going to there, can't come to there. So that looks like that's my only alternative, and it won't come to this way. Okay. Now another thing I thought of. Okay, to cut a hole in this darn thing right here. Cut the back of this piece out. What it is, that's this little box that goes in there that you store the box snaps in there, that you can put your change in there, whatever, for the toes. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, the dash is already tore to hell as it is, so it sure wouldn't hurt to cut me a place out of there. But I don't want to do that. if I don't have to. So they sure make it very hard to get to. Okay. They probably pull the dashboard. Now to pull the dash, you got to undo all the wiring harnesses. Everything goes to the firewall. You got to take the steering column, unbolt the steering column and drop it way down. Okay. It's a lot of wires, a lot of stuff to pull the dash out. And like I said before, a dash is very expensive. Second-hand dash, $700-800. Second-hand, used, and it's gonna be brittle, probably like this one. Okay, I don't even know if you can get a new dash. Okay, my normal parts place where I get all my parts, that they can't get it. So evidently they no longer make them. So, but I can salvage this dash. It looks terrible right now, but I can glue a lot of that back together. And you saw how my cover looked on there. The cover's gonna look real good. Okay, I'm just concerned about getting everything to snap back in there with all this busted up dash. Okay, maybe glue it with a I don't know, like something that's gonna take a long time to set. That way I can glue it, like maybe it's silicone. Something that'll take a long time to set. That way when I'll glue it, and then I'll come back and I'll put my dash back in. And maybe go from there. So I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, that's where we're at. So we actually got where we can touch it and move it around. We unplugged it from its little socket under there. And if they'd have made the wiring harness a little bit longer, 6 inches longer, I would be able to pull it. Now I can't. I've been able to find anything. I was thinking if I can get to the wiring harness, there might be a tie wrap or something holding it. I can cut the tie wrap and get more slack on the wiring harness. But there's no slack on that wiring harness at all. Okay. And you can't, you can't get under there. You can't get under there to do anything. So, like I say, there she is right there. And there's the little tabs. And oh yes, I did try beating on it. Tapping on it. I tried tapping on it. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said before, I need to get to the wiring harness. And before changing it, I'm gonna see if I can bypass it. There's a way that you take the purple wire and you short out the purple wire, and it'll allow your engine to start, and it'll work fine until the battery goes dead. Or you change batteries, or you have the battery's disconnected, and then you have to pull the dash all back apart and do the whole thing again. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put it all back together with that jumper. And I would change the body control module. Okay. Over the BTD. I would change that little part. But if I bypass it, it'll tell me if it works or not. Is what I'm trying to say. Follow me? So if I bypass it, it shows me it works. Then I'll get another one. I'm not going to try to put it together. And then I thought I could take the wiring harness. I can't even get to the wiring harness right now, but I get to the wiring harness and cut the plug off the end of it. That plugs into this body control module, whatever you want to call it. And just get some wires and extend it. Okay. And don't put it back in the place it was. All right. Just have it in here, so I can easily get to the ashtray. And then jump it, bypass it if my battery should go dead. Now that's an option. Okay. There's another option. You pull this cover right here off of you. You want to get to the wires of your switch. Okay. And there's a way to bypass. Well, you put a meter on it, and it tells you how many ohms a resistor that you need, and you find that size resistor, you put it in, wire it into this right here, and you don't even need the body control module at all. It'll totally bypass it, and you never have to worry about it. That's an option. Something to think about. Okay, so we kind of trying to decide, but like I said, I need to get to it, jump it, see if I can jump it, see if I can get this truck to run. And once I can do that, then I can make the decision what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna put all this back together and then when my battery goes dead, I have to change my battery. Then I'm pulling all this back apart again. That's not gonna happen. So anyway, that's where we at. So we're getting a little further. And you actually wouldn't have had to pull this, okay, or the radio, wouldn't have to pull any of this stuff to get to where I'm at. But I'm trying to get to where I can change this airbag. Now hopefully I can change the airbag without pulling the dash out. Wouldn't be nothing left of the dash if I pulled it out anyway, but I don't want to spend $700-800 for a used dash. Okay. And most trucks, every truck I've looked at, the dash is all cracked up. Every one of them. So that's why I bought that plastic dash cover. That was a couple $100. So anyway, that's where we at. So we're just getting a little further and further down the road. So as soon as I get it out, we're gonna let's see what we can do. But we're getting closer. That's where we are.